I love this quote. It says, prediction is very difficult, especially when it's about the future. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Brian Simmons here at eXp Realty. It is April 20th, and obviously, all predictions are about the future, so spoiler alert on that one. They're all difficult. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but first, let's jump into the data. 768 active single-family residential listings between Jackson and Josephine counties as of today, okay? In the last 7 days, we saw 163 new listings hit the market, 75 price changes, 33 back on the market, 128 went pending, 114 went closed, 33 were expired, withdrawn, or canceled, and we were sitting at about 6.74 weeks worth of inventory, looking at just a snapshot of that week. So well under 2 months of inventory. Still looking good on all that. So look, as I'm looking through those numbers, I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's, really even newsworthy, to be honest with you. Nothing crazy, nothing surprising. If I were to get really like nitpicky and try to dig into that and try to like pull something out, I would say, look, if anything, I would like to have seen more deals go pending. Okay. We were at, what did I say, 128? 128 pending. That's a little bit lower than what I would have liked to have seen, but there's a good reason why. Easter, okay? Easter Sunday. That's not a lot of people out there buying houses on Easter, okay? So that's a good reason. You took one of the most popular days to buy homes, put in offers, and it was Easter instead, okay? On top of that, we had pretty bad weather most of the week. So again, like not a lot of people like going out and seeing homes when it's bad weather for whatever reason. So anyway, so I'm not super surprised by that. So there's really not a whole lot to take away from the data there, in my opinion. Nothing earth-shattering. And so what I'm going to say is that honestly, no news is good news in this case. So as it relates to the local market, no news is good news. Let's just go with that for this week. Okay, now I want to come back to the whole prediction conversation, okay? Because there's some people that are out there that are saying, I don't want to buy right now because rates are high and they're going higher and they're predicting all these things that are going to happen. And they're not thinking about what can also happen, which is the rates can go up and they can also come back down. And so I want to take a little bit of a look here at what has happened historically to show you. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. If you look at this chart, you can see what the interest rate has done for mortgages on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage all the way back from 2009 to today, okay? And so what I want to illustrate is if you're sitting, let's just say right in here for some, for starters, okay? If you're sitting right there, you might be thinking similar to where we're at today that, hey, interest rates have been rising. And I don't want to buy right now because interest rates are going to continue to rise, okay? And so if you bought there, you would have been right that interest rates continue to rise. They did, okay? However, you could have got it as it was coming down and you could have refinanced here. You could have refinanced here or here, anywhere. So you could have bought at, 4.75 and you could have refinanced at, 3.25, okay? And then rates come back up, and let's say you're sitting here and you're like, you know what, rates have been coming back up, and this is a new buyer now, not the same person. Rates have been going up, and I don't know if I want to buy because they're going to continue to go up, and they do, and then they come down, and you could have refinanced, okay? Could have refinanced here, could have refinanced here. So you could have bought again at, call it 4.5, 4.25, and you could have refinanced at 3.5. Okay, same thing. Could have happened here, could have refinanced here. Could have happened here, could have refinanced here. Could have bought here, could have refinanced here, could have refinanced here, could have refinanced here, could have refinanced here. You see what I'm getting at? Okay, you could have refinanced a ton of places. If you buy at a high point where interest rates are high, okay, or even let's say here where you see that they're going up, they could continue to go up and you still could refinance at some point down the road in the future when rates come back down, okay? Is there a guarantee that rates are going to come back down? No. Is there a guarantee that they're going to continue to go up? No. So here's what I'm saying. If you can find a house that you like, it probably makes sense to buy it because if you look at the history over the last, 12, 13 years here, you can see that as rates have been going up, they come back down. And then they go back up, and they come back down and go back up and 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 then back down and then up and then down and then up, and we'll see what happens. But if I were a betting man, I would probably bet that at some point that's probably going to come back down. How far, who knows, but probably going to come back down. So my point is, if you're thinking of buying, don't be afraid of the interest rate. Okay, there's a good chance you can refinance at some point in the not so far out future. You know, in this case, let's say we're in the end of 13 and we're in 15, so a year and a half. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's not like you're gonna lose your savings because you paid a point higher, on your mortgage interest rate, for a year and a half. Like, you're gonna be okay. So my point is this: there's a lot of ways that predictions can get you in trouble because they have to do with the future, because they always have to do with the future, right? That's what a prediction is. So the thing is, it can get you into trouble. So try to just think about what is actually the reality. If you know that that house is the one that you like and it makes sense for your family and it makes sense for, your budget and all those things, and you can do it, I would say don't hesitate because you think rates are going to continue to go up or anything. Don't like postpone buying because you think it's going to, it's a bad environment right now. When the reality is, like, last year was a bad environment. Like, we had better interest rates, but we had nothing to find. Okay. Now there's actually some homes to find. So if you got to pay a little bit more interest and then maybe you can refinance in, a year or 2 years, who knows? We don't know. We have no idea. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 6 years. We don't know. But historically, looking at that chart, you could see that it came up, it went down, it came up, it went down, it came up, it went down. It did that all the time. Okay. So do you think it's going to go up and just stay there forever? Probably not. Okay. Who knows? But that's what I would be betting. So I would just say if there's a place that you have seen that you like it and you're hesitating, I wouldn't hesitate. I would go for it. I think that rates are still, on the grand scheme of things, still in a good spot overall. Okay, like I've said a number of times, my very first mortgage rate that I ever got was at 5.25%, and everybody was blown away that it was such a good rate. Okay, so still not terrible. All right, so that's all I got for you today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's a little button down here on the bottom. Subscribe, like, share. Really appreciate it. Thank you all. Have a good one.